Hi, Jules here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, August 14th. So I didn't do a video last week. Jennifer and I had a BFF retreat last week. We met in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and it was a long drive for her, not about half as long for me, maybe a little less than half. It is about 8,000 miles or so above sea level. So it was about 20 degrees cooler than what it has been here in Albuquerque, which was awesome. And we spent Sunday night and all day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then, so just sewing our little fingers off. And it was an orphan blocks extravaganza. So what we did was, the first thing, she brought all of her orphan blocks that she had sorted by maybe color or style. I had all of mine sorted by size. And then we just, I don't know why we did that, because we just dumped them all over the floor together. And I will insert a picture of that here. So as you can see, there was a lot of orphan blocks. One of the things I did do was I took some of the smaller ones and pieced them together into 4 patches that were bigger, that then got incorporated by either Jennifer or myself into another top. So it was really fun. We didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but we did get a whole lot done. And I actually ended up getting 5 Project Linus quilt tops done. And then I came home with 2, in addition to that she sent home with me that she'd gotten done. So between the 2 of us, I think we've both got enough tops to get us caught up through the end of the year. That is the idea. So that being said, let me just show you what those 5 looked like all together finished right here. So one of the tops that I made actually started out and is on this board as one of my birthday blocks. It's actually the second year I did birthday blocks, 2013, I believe. Tall shoe fly. That is no longer on my tops in progress. It is now a Linus in progress because I decided that I didn't want it anymore. So, the year that I did that, I fell in love with that block. It was pretty hilarious. I fell in love with that block, but I never got around to making any of my sample blocks to fill out the quilt. And even though I actually got some extra blocks a few years later from one of the participants in sort of a swap, personal swap that we did, because they were like 6.5 by 9.5 inch blocks or something kind of like that, 5.5 by 9.5, there just weren't enough to make a size quilt, even more than just maybe a little wall hanging or a Linus quilt. So what I did was I pieced them in one of my Linus quilt tops, and going through all the blocks, Jennifer found 2 blocks in her stash that were the exact same pattern. They just weren't cream with purple on them like mine were. But they worked. So those got incorporated into the quilt. A couple that I got from Project Linus orphan blocks got used in the quilt top, and I'm gonna insert a picture of just that one quilt top here. So now, I have one less to do, even though I didn't get anything done. I have one less to do because it got moved from the tops in progress down to the Linus in progress square. So at least it moved. It was a lot of fun. We had so much fun. And now I need to get some backs together and get some batting pieced and start quilting. So it's time to get busy quilting stuff. So far I've only turned in, I believe, 5 blankets this year. So if I quilt these 5, That'll put me at 10. And then I have the vegetable quilt. That'll put me at 11. I've still got a couple of fleece that aren't finished that I need to turn in. And I've got to get some labels. I have one Project Linus label left. I could swear I have a baggie somewhere, so I've got to dig around for those. And if I can't find it, get a hold of someone to get it in front of me. I have to say, if you have the opportunity to even just spend a day with a friend doing something like this, the fact that we mixed and matched made it so fun. And it made us really get creative, get those creative juices flowing. And both of us had kind of been feeling that creative, I don't know, constipation, I guess is a pretty disgusting way to put it, but that's what it is. It's, you know, you can't make a decision, and doing this is just kind of like, I still am really slow at making decisions, so that's why she got so many done more than I did, but it was a lot of fun, and I put some things together that I might not have come up with that idea otherwise if those blocks weren't there, just in a big hodgepodge. I would say we used well over 100 blocks between the two of us. Gosh, at least, because there were some blocks that had maybe 20 orphan blocks, because some of them were small, in just a single top. And between the two of us, we got like 18 tops done. So over half, I mean, well over half of 2/3 of it was hers. So more than 2/3. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. I haven't been that relaxed in so long, and we have not been in the same room together for 3 years. So this was well overdue, and we really needed it. So yeah, I'm really excited. There is a quilt store, or it's a sewing machine shop that is also a quilt store. It's a brother dealer that is also a quilt shop. And so on our way out of town, we did stop at the quilt store, and they have their fat quarters were like $2 1/4. Can you believe that? So I bought 8 $20 worth of fat quarters, and I will show you those. I have no idea what I'm going to use this for, but pink turtles. I mean, come on. This is just, I needed some bright. I have lots of green. I don't have a lot of bright green. So there's some bright green. Just a good, like, background kind of thing. Gray. I don't have a lot of gray, so there's a gray. I don't have much in the way of pink, so there's more pink to go with the pink turtles. Just a pink blender, and of course a Halloween, because I'm sort of gearing up for a Halloween quilt probably next year. I'll talk about that later, but this is something I don't have in my stash, so I thought it was fun. And it had, you know, it was whimsical, but not like baby Halloween-y. It still had skulls on it, so, and spider webs. Another thing I picked up, they had some patterns, and I picked up this Spooky Ride pattern, which combines a couple of larger prints or panel sections, square panels with charm squares and rectangles, bricks, basically, a combination of bricks and charm squares. And the lady, she was cute, the lady that ran the store, she's like, oh, but you need to use this fabric. And I was like, no, I don't. I said, I just want the cutting instructions on the layout. I thought this would be fun for a number of other things I have. I was thinking I actually have an idea for this, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I might change my mind. So I have an idea for this. Let's just say it's going to involve a charm pack that I already have, some yardage that I already have, and a couple of, instead of the panels, I'm thinking an embroidered block, so, that I have not designed yet. So we shall see. And it is mystery related. Other than that, I'm not going to say anything, because I might change my mind and use it for something completely different. And it's a pattern. I can use it for whatever I want. So, there. That's it. That's it. I guess I could show you the tops, but I mean, this top one, this is the stack. The top one here, this is one of Jennifer's, so we were using, I mean, some of these are applique, they're just all combined. This is just a fun idea. This is another one Jennifer did right here. I did, she had a set of orphan blocks that someone had started a pod using this directional fabric and then decided that using directional fabric, is not a good idea. But there was enough to do a block. There was almost enough to do an entire baby quilt, like 3x4, so teen really almost. 3 across by 4 down. I take that back. There was 13 blocks, and rather than have one go to waste, I took it apart and made each row longer, and then I found some book fabric, and then I had pretty much almost even rows to do it. So I'll insert a picture of the whole thing here. This is another fun one. So this was just random. Most of these blocks came from my orphan blocks from the teacher that donated all of her class thingies, her class demo things. So there's partial blocks, like right here. There's partial blocks there, and then whole blocks. But the center basket came from Jennifer, and that is actually hand-pieced. So this center part is hand-pieced. And then I think all of the other blocks, I'm pretty sure most if not all of the other blocks came from the orphan blocks from my group. There were different size baskets. So first we just started putting the baskets together, and then I just started lopping partial blocks to like fill out the space. So there's partial blocks all over the place. Jennifer did this one. I love this. So she made this block. Just pieced them together. After I got the top together, I realized there was a hole from maybe at some point, the fabric getting separated. There was a hole. And I had put a border of this cat fabric that I think came from Sarah from Houston to Linus and to Jennifer's Linus, and out of one of the scraps of this, I cut out one of the kitties and I appliqued it on. I just used a glue stick to stick it down in one place and then stitched it and then trimmed with my little scissors around the kitty. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. Is that not cute? I just love it. It's freaking cute. So I'm not going to show you all these. This is the shoe flies. So, and boom, here was this extra shoe fly that Jennifer brought, and here's another extra shoe fly that Jennifer brought. And then this, somebody had made pajamas out of this elephant fabric. I took this home years ago, years. Nobody was going to take it because it was all cut up for pajamas. But they were big pieces of fabric. I mean, I cut 10.5-inch squares. And I still have fabric left over. But because it wasn't evenly cut, because it was cut like round, like from a pattern for clothes, nobody was taking it. And I just loved that groovy, vintage elephants. So, there's that. It was an awesome week. I don't know what else to say. It was awesome. And then, of course, we've started a tradition of when we get together doing this, making a pillowcase as our souvenir. So this is my pillowcase. Jennifer brought fabric that she picked up at Quilt Fest last year. And we made our pillowcases and then we swapped the leftover fabrics. So I want to go back. I want to go back now. Jennifer, can we go back now? I hope everybody has a great week. I look forward to watching your videos. Sew with a friend. It's so much fun. Sew with a friend. And I totally forgot to mention, I got a very, very early birthday present. Do you remember Jennifer's hot air balloon quilt that was in Quilt Maker's 100 Blocks? Jewels of the Wind. because I gave her the idea of doing hot air balloons because she had to think of something for fall. And I said, well, fall in Albuquerque means hot air balloons. It's mine. It's mine. I get it. It's mine. I get to keep it. That's all. See you next week. Bye.